Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey, by the way, both of them, are only in prison for the reason that Teresa's daily planner is separate for some reason for Kathleen T. Zellner, but there's no other explanation why Teresa's daily planner, the one that she had with her in her vehicle, that she received a phone call and she wrote down a rescheduled date. She wrote shit down in her book and there on that day, and it's back at her house. And Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey are in prison. 2. That's not Teresa's vehicle they found on Avery Auto Salvage. It's not Teresa's vehicle. It's in Wisconsin State Crime Lab. Teresa's bin had gone around the globe. Okay? So we know it's not the same vehicle. But yet, Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey are in prison for life on a vehicle that's not Teresa's. The county, Manitowoc, Manitowoc County does not have jurisdiction over the accused. I keep telling you these days. So if you go to Federal Rule 60, drop down to B4, and you'll find Boyd. Because they don't have jurisdiction means their conviction is void. They walk. It's simple. That's it. But they're still there. Why? Because Kathleen T. Zellner will not deal with Teresa's daily planner made it back to her house, and they found Teresa's RAV4 on Avery Auto Salvage. Teresa's dead for some reason. So Teresa didn't make it back home, or she did make it back home. Well, whatever the case is, the point is that she can't have Teresa making it back home alive. She's got to be dead, Zellner. So Ryan took it, okay? Hillegrass, okay? He took it. Strope warp that shit, okay? But the fact of the matter is, it's all made up in your fucking mind. There's no proof of anything. She's just muddying the water with all this fucking shit. The more fucking legal shit she can put on it, the more she has to wade through. Just creating more, investigating every fucking thing, when we go back to she refuses in every court filing all this time to acknowledge that it's not the same vehicle. And thus she's giving Manitowoc County jurisdiction, and they're going to say, hey, we're going to take jurisdiction because she's not challenging us on jurisdiction. She keeps saying, you got jurisdiction, we're going to have to litigate it. You got jurisdiction, you have to litigate it. If she brought up to the court, that's not the same vehicle, and you're really going to have to go open up the storage shed, look into that vehicle with that sticker on the side. I noticed that they went in there and took all these fucking pictures, but didn't take a picture where it really counted, which is that sticker inside the door jamb. Okay, they went down there and got pictures of the engine block with that number on it. Yeah, sure, no problem. They can get that off of that, the green one, and say it came from the blue one. Anyway, Kathleen T. Zellner is purposely keeping Stephen Avery and subsequently Knight Rider and Dresden are keeping Brendan in prison for whatever reason, for their own, but the fact is that they're doing it. They're doing it. Teresa's dead. All 3 of those lawyers. Teresa's dead. Fuck those. Shit. No. So every time we got a YouTuber or Reddit or somebody doing something, and they say, Teresa's rapport. Screw you. Okay? No. The blood was found in Teresa's vehicle. No, the blood wasn't found in Teresa's vehicle. We got a picture. 8. Even Zoner says that her client didn't do it. Teresa left, and she's got all this information that she left, including an aerial photograph that it's not there on the 4th anywhere. But Teresa's dead. How in the fuck did that happen? Well, let me see now. We found the bones, so she's saying Teresa's bones. You want to test them, to see if Teresa was over here, because she keeps trying to prove Teresa dead. All right? On these fucking bones. You're going to throw fucking bones in your fire. And when you burn bones and shit like that, meat, deer, whatever, and your barrel gets full, you go empty your barrel in the burn pit. That's the reason why there's a burn pit. So yes, there's going to be bones in the burn pit. Okay? Then we have, assuming that they're human. You cannot charge somebody. Teresa's not dead because it's assumed, assuming that they're human. But, according to the conviction, they rolled her on into the fire and they burned her whole, But yet we got cut marks on bones. So every single bone has a cut mark in it. Can't be according to shot her in the head in the garage, throw luminol down. There's no luminol, but she's still shot in the fucking head in the garage because they cleaned up. That good? No. And then you look at that garage, you go, fuck, that garage ain't been cleaned. Clean marks and shit. You ain't gonna do it that good. Anyway, it stinks to fucking high heaven. But the point is that Kathleen T. Zoner keeps Teresa dead, which keeps Stephen in prison, which makes it so that you can't go for Boyd judgment, because the fact is she's given credence to the state that they have just jurisdiction when they don't have jurisdiction. So she's playing with the state too. So her and the state and the judge and all that are in cahoots, and the key word is the killer. So when she says the killer, then the judge knows to rule against her, because the judge is now exercising jurisdiction. And Kathleen keeps telling her, Zoner keeps saying, yeah, you got jurisdiction. We're going to keep litigating this until Stephen Avery fucking dies of old age, and then everything's done and over with. See? That's the way it goes. She's just as bad as Kratz. As a matter of fact, Kratz started off with a green rapport and ended up with the blue rapport. Now, here's Kratz, right? And he's with Yes Foundation, Jay Breyer, and they made up the missing persons photo, missing person poster. Fuck. So anyway, Kratz with that missing persons photo and the poster writes on there dark green. Kratz has got it the day before Teresa's reported missing, by the way. So he's got that dark blue, dark green, and then he goes into court and he says blue. Kratz knows. In court they changed it from green to blue. Right there in all the paperwork, it goes, everybody's saying green, 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 green. And then when they find it now, it's blue, 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 blue. No. But guess what? Zoner's with the blue one. Why? Because she's keeping the state she's working with the state to keep the state in a perpetual jurisdiction. She's not challenging jurisdiction, and every time she challenges it, it's against jurisdiction, but saying that they have jurisdiction when they don't. Kathleen T. Zellner is a criminal lawyer. She's criminal. She needs to be barred. She needs to be sued. The whole fucking bit. You take this up with the Bar Association, somebody. Take this up with the Bar Association saying, you know what Zellner's doing? Yeah. Look at the evidence. There it is. Zellner's with the prosecution, pretending. You see? Okay, try it. Go ahead. That's not Teresa's rapport they found all this evidence in. Evidence is out. When when they found it, and the guy says on Remaker says on the stand that the bin was moved, tampered with. That is not admissible evidence. It should have been thrown out right then and there. The judge should have said, hey, wait a minute, what? Well, throw it out. But the judge didn't throw it out. He just let it go. And then, of course, Strang and Buting over there, they're going like, well, yeah, we'll just let it go, you know. Instead, right there in court, they heard it, and they go, oh, shit. That means that this evidence is out, and Steven Avery walks right then and there. But they didn't do it. Why? Because they're in cahoots with the fuck. So Strang and Buting can be proven to be in cahoots with the prosecution against their own client. So they need to be disbarred and sued. Dresden and Knight Rider needs to be disbarred and sued because they got the same fucking information. Kathleen T. Zellner needs to be disbarred and sued because of her position. She keeps going in doing this shit. So all these lawyers are not really for Steven Avery and Brendan Dassey for sure. Why? Because I just proven it to you. They're still giving the state jurisdiction that the state does not legally have. Going back to the original search warrant, 98 Blue RAV4. They had the invoice for the blue one, the green one, on the 3rd, and they had that, and they go, well, hey, look at that. They took the green one in association with the case. Okay? And dark green matches dark green on the poster on the Manawak County Sheriff's inventory list, Larry Labina. There it is. They know it. Kathleen T. Zellner knows it. Knight Rider knows it. Dresden knows it. String knew it. Buting knew it. They all fucking knew it. And what'd they do? That's what they did. And they railroaded them. We just found a whole nest of criminal fucking lawyers. And that's what they're doing. And they won't go back and correct it. To this day, Zellner's waiting on the state's response. No. Steven Avery and Brendan Dassey are in charge of their lawyers. The lawyers don't tell them what to do. They tell their lawyers what to do. So Steven Avery is sitting there not telling Zellner what to do. Steven, Brendan, tell your respective lawyers to go to court and make the court prove they have jurisdiction. Federal Rule 60B4. Got it? You do that, you walk. Simple. Okay? All you have to do is say the Daily Planner made it back home. That's evidence of proof of life that Teresa made it home. There's nothing there, okay, that makes it that way. That blue RAV4 that they found all the blood and stuff like that in was not the one that Teresa drove back home in. All right? Like Zellner says. She drove in her blue, or a dark green RAV4, and Zellner says she was in the blue RAV4. No. The Daily Planner made it back to Teresa's place. Okay? All of your suspects, nobody is taking it back. Ryan kills Teresa, right? Is he going to take her Daily Planner back home? No. So, when the cops are all in there investigating this shit, there's her Daily Planner at the house. That was in her vehicle. Okay? But Zona says, well, that's a separate issue. We don't want to fucking deal with that because that will get my client off. Okay? See how that works? Yeah. There's inventory, Manawha County. Zona doesn't want to deal with that, right? Why? Because that would get her off. But those two pieces of paper, right there, Teresa's Daily Planner and the Manawha County inventory list with the green RAV4, dark green RAV4. Okay, those two pieces of paper, put them down there, say, Judge, there it is. Boom. There went jurisdiction, walk.